going on, guys? Sims here. We are wrapping down day number 1. Welcome to day number 2. The dust is just settling here in the Burbank studios. We have had the FFA over and done. Relegation is now underdone. We had Randa coming out on top during the FFAs. We had both teams, E6 and Allegiance. They have survived to the next summer season of the Pro League. Big congratulations to them. But you know what? That's in the past. It's all about today. $150,000 on the line. Can Optic Gaming get the win, get the repeat, become that dynasty that we're all hoping they can be? Or do we have some new names hot on their heels? We saw back at HCS Vegas, these teams are getting tight. They are ready to play. Get ready. It's Championship Sunday.
Championship Sunday, indeed. You heard Sims mention it. Yes, $150,000 for the top 4 teams in North America. There can only be one champion, though. $75,000 for first place. So happy to be here for the pre-show. I'm Axel Toss, helping getting you through this weekend as we crown a Halo champion by the end of the day. Joined by the illustrious, keep calling you that because you are, Walshy, and we got, of course, Elamite over here. Guys are looking quite dapper and handsome, if I may say so myself. Are you excited for this weekend?
I'm extremely excited for this weekend. 7 weeks in the making, and that's just these teams matching up against each other. Everyone has been so excited. The level of competition has increased so much from summer season that we're finally seeing some contenders here for first.
Yeah, thanks to this HCS Pro League, we can now see these teams actually compete with something on the line on a weekly basis. Back in the day when we used to compete, back in like 06, 07, you would sometimes extrapolate how people were doing in scrims and be like, all right, Carbon's doing all right, or Straight Ribbon's doing all right, but you weren't ever really able to tell how a team was doing until they actually got to a live event like this.
It's been a grueling season for these players and teams. They have to put in so much time and effort into getting to this point. Let's take a look at the timeline of the fall 2016 season. Began September 14th. 4 months ago, doesn't seem like too long ago, but October, November into December. The EU Pro League finals were last week, and today we are going to crown a champion for the Pro League finals. So a lot of games for these guys. A lot of trials, and it all leads down to this point. We've had plenty of matches between all these players, and it all breaks down in the standings as the top 4 teams from the standings of the regular season advance to this point. That's Team Envyus, Optic Gaming, Team Liquid, and Straight Rippin, all competing for that $75,000 first place prize. Luminosity, Evil Geniuses watching from home. Yesterday we had the relegation matches where Enigma 6 and Allegiance, your number 7 and 8 seeds, were able to advance over 3s Up and TMMT from the open bracket to get to today. But for the purposes of today, Championship Sunday, as Sim said in the beginning, here are your top 4 seeds competing for that top prize. Envyus, Optic, Liquid, Straight Rippin. What a grouping of teams to get to this point. Are you guys surprised that these are the 4 that made it through?
Based on the previous season, yes. I mean, we saw squads like Liquid and Straight Rippin struggling previously, and obviously Envy and I feel like Optic were clearly favorites, but it just goes to show what can happen over the course of 7 weeks because Straight Rippin had a slow start and picked it up towards the end of the season, and I usually like to hold the end of season results as counting as higher weighted.
Oh, absolutely. And to consider Straight Rippin's Cinderella story run to make it into the Pro League being so behind Luminosity, I don't think anybody thought they were going to make it. I don't think they themselves thought they were going to make it. And somehow all the dice fall in their favor. And you have them advancing, knocking Luminosity out of the bracket here. And some of those players on Luminosity, I mean, L-Town, we saw some of those guys competing at the summer finals here. And now they're sitting from home watching.
Well, let's get a little bit deeper into these teams that are competing this weekend, starting with Team Envyus. This is your number 1 seed. Guys, talk to me about this roster.
This squad, when it came together on paper, looked phenomenal, but we've also seen rosters in the past just not gel well together. However, this squad has proven that they know how to come together as a team. Mikwin, Pistola, Snipe Down, Hook, just raw slaying power. And I think anytime we've seen some sort of dynasty-like team, some sort of powerhouse form, at some point, teams just start to get together and say, all right, where's this firepower? Let's bring it together and try and make this happen.
Yeah, exactly. Who is our biggest competition? Who are we struggling with? Sometimes you need to, kind of steal the best players from other teams to improve your squad. And it's exactly, what Optic did when they picked up Lethal from Evil Geniuses. That was a huge pickup for them. They greatly improved, and they hurt Evil Geniuses really badly, too. So there's like a double-edged sword there.
Envyus, your number 1 seed. They are considered the best in the league by a lot of people. What do you guys think these guys need to focus on? Obviously, they're coming in number 1. That can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say because they are coming in as number one, but I think in a lot of people's eyes, Optic is still number one. Until they get beat at a live event like this, it's going to be tough to take down Optic in 2 best-of-7s to make sure that they don't take first place at this event.
And one thing to keep in mind is Optic in a grand finals has not lost a game. So Envyus still has a lot to prove. I think even in their own minds, they know that they're not the number one team until they take down Optic.
Talk to me more about this legendary kid, right? 16-year-old on Envyus, Huke.
Hook, he's a monster. We love to have him in our scene too. I think the Cinderella story kind of goes as he was too young to compete in some Call of Duty events, so he's like, hey, guess what? I'll just switch over to Halo and be one of the best players in the league.
Yeah, I mean, Hook, his run, it was a lot like Snipedown's run in the beginning of Halo 3, where he came out and he just immediately found a lot of success, and it was immediately on really good teams. And he is one of the best players, and I've been talking to some of his teammates about him and how he's improved and changed. And he is a little rocky. There's a lot of fine-tuning that needs to happen to new players, and he wants to be the best Halo player in the league. So not just slaying power-wise, but just best overall player.
I think that's one of the biggest things about new up-and-comers in the Halo scene, especially younger players, is it's not a question of their shot skill. It's more about their positioning, their communication, and their objective awareness.
Storyline for Envyus is there, the number one seed coming into today, but as you guys have mentioned, Optic, that might be the wall they have to climb. But moving on to the next team, Envyus is facing off against ST8 Rippin in the first round. Talk to me about this roster, guys.
I mean, ST8 Rippin, like we said, this was the Cinderella story, miracle run where came out rocky, hit and miss. They had a pickup of Eco, who came over from Luminosity, so actually left a team that was essentially ranked better than them at the current time. And then all of a sudden, they found so much success and have been going on this run. Now, they've been struggling against some of the teams like Envy. They weren't able to defeat them during the regular season, but that doesn't mean anything when it comes down to this weekend, because you can still have those giant upsets.
Yeah, ST8 just a solid roster, and it's no surprise with some of the players you look on there. Players that have seen so much success in the past. Hines, who was part of that TD roster in 2008, 2009, just dominating through with them. We have Ace, the global champion, walking away with $200,000 in that individual event. APG, who, one more to say, I mean, he's been on so many up-and-coming rosters, just always a dominant force. His shot is arguably the best on that squad.
Yeah, and you brought up the global championship. Ace won the largest free-for-all tournament ever in Halo, and who did he go up against in the finals? None other than Pistola from Team Envyus.
ST8 Rippin, number 4 seed, but as you see on the graphic there, ended the regular season 4-0, so they might have some momentum coming into today. Anything can happen at a grand final. We've learned that in a LAN environment. What's the focus for ST8 Rippin here for them to make a good run through the bracket?
Similar to the Money Matches team yesterday, I think ST8 is flying under the radar compared to a lot of the other squads. I think everyone here is saying, all right, can Optic be beat? And if so, is Envy or Liquid going to be able to take down Optic? And I don't think most of these teams are really focusing on ST8 nearly as much.
Yeah, I mean, that might play into their advantage here. I know ST8's been preparing for this. Obviously, Envyus still has a lot to prove. They're looking to get revenge from Esports Arena when they lost to Optic. So, sometimes coming out early in the morning, you can see teams overlook. Like week 1 of the regular season, we saw Team Liquid come out and 3-0 Team Envyus. But then Envyus, obviously, the only match they lost all season was the very first one. So if ST8 Rippin can capitalize on them coming out to a slow start, they may very well kind of replicate that same success.
I believe it was 2009 championships where Believe the Hype ended up coming out of nowhere. I think they were like the 7th or 6th seed, and everyone was always had their eyes on like Triggers Down or ST8 Rippin or Carbon or Final Boss, and Believe the Hype ended up winning the national event.
There we see on the screen, Eco, player to look out for. Talk to me more about this guy.
Eco, the newest addition to ST8 Rippin, but not to take anything away, because he actually was on this exact same roster. This roster was the same lineup for Team Liquid that competed at the Halo World Championships, and even though they finished top 8, they were one of the better teams there, only losing to Denial, who had the members of Hook in there. So there's so much history between these players. They've matched up against each other so many times. This is a good opportunity for ST8 Rippin to come out and exact some revenge.
All right, keep an eye on Eco and ST8 Rippin, but a pretty tall task again, facing Envyus in the first round. So they're definitely going to be focusing a lot on that first match. And, you have the opportunity to study these teams as you're coming in. So we'll have to see how that comes into play. But moving on to Team Liquid, the second match of the day will be Liquid versus Optic. Talk to me about this Liquid team, guys.
I mean, Liquid is one of those teams that can be really hit or miss. So we saw them lose to the likes of a makeshift straight Rippin roster at Esports Arena, but then we saw them come out and defeat Team Envyus in the winners bracket of HCS Las Vegas. So this is a team that can come out and they play the game fast. Like, this is one of the most aggressive teams that we have, mainly due to the likes of Spartan and Commonly that are just so quick and so fast-paced.
And those are one of the scariest rosters to play against when they're on fire. The aggressive rosters that you don't know who you're going to play against. It's one of those teams that if they're playing well, there's almost nothing you can do because you can't slow down the game. You have someone like Commonly or Spartan just charging up, never letting you get all four alive and set up a push.
And sometimes, Commonly, the amount of objective work he does, I remember watching him a lot on Truth, and he will run a flag and be back to the enemy team's base before anyone else even gets there. He's just so quick.
So Liquid coming in, a lot of people talking about Envyus, a lot of people talking about Optic. Liquid less in that conversation. What needs to happen for Liquid for them to make a run through this bracket?
I mean, a lot of times we talk about consistency. There are just so many good teams here at this event. You can't have a bad series. If you have a bad series, Straight's going to beat you. Obviously, Envy, Optic are going to beat you. So they have to somehow find that consistency. So that's one of the things that's been tough about Liquid is, yeah, they've won a lot of series, but a lot of times it's either dominating fashion or they can get crushed when they're not playing well.
Yeah, I mean, and we saw them lose the straight both times during the regular season. Now, both of the series were extremely close, even going to a Game 5 overtime victory there for straight to kind of continue their way and make it here to finals. But like we said, with a Week 1 defeat over Team Envyus and beating them in HCS Las Vegas, they have absolutely all the talent and all the tools that they need to win this event.
We have a player to look out for here, Spartan. We do have a conversation about players having to come out, leading their team to a victory. We saw that yesterday in the relegation matches. Do you guys see Spartan being that man for Liquid?
He's undoubtedly an emotional leader on that squad. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors as far as who's leading strategy talks and going over gameplay and trying to help the team figure out what their weaknesses are. But when you listen to the comms, when we go to listen in with Liquid at some point, you're going to hear Spartan the dog yelling out, getting his team pumped up, and yelling those call-outs.
Of course, that's a very unique thing for a LAN environment. We saw that happen in relegation yesterday. These players are going to be vocal, not only to build up their team, but to maybe try to intimidate their opponents a little bit. But speaking of intimidation, the final team we're going to talk about here, you guys mentioned it, fierce on LAN. They are Optic Gaming.
The squad with no major weaknesses. I mean, Royal 2, Snakebite, Lethal, Frosty, any of those players can go off, and they are just so strong. It's rare that you can look at a roster and say, yeah, they don't really have any major weaknesses.
I don't even know if they have any minor weaknesses. They are so good and so consistent. The only time, like we said, we've seen them lose is literally online, and it was against mainly Team Envyus, where they went 0-2 against them during the regular season here. But we also mentioned earlier, not yet to lose a game in a grand finals. So clearly, when everything matters and it's all on the line, these guys have never failed to show up.
Optic Gaming, definitely the team to look out for. I know they have a lot of fans out there watching here today. Optic Gaming, it could be easy to come into a grand final and be a little bit nervous, have some issues there, but we've seen historically Optic Gaming just amazing on LAN. What's their focus here?
Their focus is hopefully having not lost a stride or let other teams catch up. We've talked about how this is the #1 squad when they come to live events. They have yet to lose a game in the grand finals. However, they've skipped out in the last 2 live events. They didn't go to UGC St. Louis. They didn't go to HCS Las Vegas. There was still a decent amount of prize money on the line for both those events. So I don't know what their excuses were for not attending those events.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I think we're going to see more of them coming to attend those events. I know they've had a lot going on. The organization change, obviously, has been really big for them, formerly of Counterlogic Gaming when they won that Halo World Championships. But Optic, all they need to do is play their game. They've led the game, and they led Halo 5 in strategy creation. They've changed the meta, but now finally we've seen teams catch up. So as long as they continue that momentum and play their own game, I think over the course of a 15 or an overtime game, their best is better than everyone else's best right now.
All right, look out for Optic as the day continues. We have another player to look out for here. It's Frosty. Tell me about this guy.
I think one thing we always talk about is his movement. He's just always moving around the map so smoothly, just always hitting every single jump, and somehow not missing a single shot while he does it.
Yeah, I mean, Frosty, I had a lot of people calling out that this is the guy to look out for in Halo 5, going all the way back down to the first Halo 5 event I attended down in Daytona. He won that event and rapidly increased and found himself on Optic Gaming, which, is relatively unheard of over the course of years, or to happen that quickly. You've seen that happen. Strongside had an example of that. Snipedown had an example of that, but it really hasn't happened that much recently, and now we're seeing it from Frosty.
Well, we'll see how Optic does today, but let's take a look at, I believe we have the bracket. There's the bracket. Envyus versus STR8 Rippin up first. Optic Gaming versus Team Liquid. Those are your 4 teams here in the finals of the Halo Championship. $150,000 on the line, $75,000 for first. Team Envyus versus STR8 Rippin is your first match, followed by Optic Gaming versus Team Liquid. Then we proceed throughout the day. 7 matches in store for us, all best of 7s. And remember, should there be a bracket reset, we'll see an 8th match. So before we end this pre-show, Walshy and Elamite, what a great day for Halo, as we're going to be crowning a champion by the end of the day. Got to ask you guys, who's it going to be?
I can't choose anyone outside of Optic until they actually lose at a live event.
Yeah, I mean, as far as my prediction goes, you're almost crazy if you don't go ahead and select Optic just based on history. But, I'm always rooting for the upset. I'm always rooting for the underdog. So I'm going to go ahead and select Team Envyus to actually come out and take this one if they can make the improvements from when they lost in HCS Las Vegas.
We want to know what you think as well. So who do you think's going to win? Let us know in the chat. Maybe tweet at us. This is the Halo Championship Series. We're getting closer and closer to the start of the show. It's STR8 Rippin versus Envyus, and it's coming up next. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to one of the biggest days of the year for Halo. It's the Halo Championship Series Pro League Fall Finals for North America. We have 4 teams competing for the $150,000 prize pool and, of course, the title of North America Champion. I'm Axel Toss, joined here on the couch by Walshy himself. We got Elamite. We had a relegation day yesterday where we saw Enigma 6 and Allegiance make it through, and we were hyping today all along. We've been hyping this day for months as we've been ramping up to this Pro League final, and we're finally here, guys.
And so many great matches yesterday. I keep thinking back to that Enigma 6 3s-up match. That was probably one of the best Halo 5 matches I've seen in the last year.
Yeah, I mean, that was an awesome one to start off the day with. I definitely was not awake enough to go crazy and thinking like that is going to happen at the very first match of the weekend, and it's just so different than what we saw during summer finals. Level of competition not only from our pro teams but now from our open circuit teams here are finally really contending some of these guys.
Well, let's take a look at the bracket one more time as we get ready to get into the matches. The 4 teams, again, Envyus, STR8 Rippin, Optic Gaming, Team Liquid. Start filling out your brackets if you're one of those fantasy people and try to compete with your friends. Envyus versus STR8 Rippin will be first, Optic Gaming versus Team Liquid next. All best of 7s, and remember, there is a loser bracket. So if your favorite team gets knocked down in the beginning, It's okay. There's a chance for them to come back through the lower bracket, but that will definitely be a huge challenge if that does happen. So you guys really like Optic. Are you staying true to that? Is Optic truly the team to beat here?
I mean, I just try to go by the numbers and just think that obviously they can lose a few scrims online. I remember back in the day when I used to compete on Final Boss, we would lose scrims online, but we'd come to the live events and we'd dominate. And so I think I have to give Optic the benefit and say, even though they lost a few of those online matches, they're going to come to this LAN environment. They're going to win 75K.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything of what we say. It's what Optic's been doing and what they've been able to do so far and the success they've found. They've proved themselves to be the team to beat. Now it's up for everyone else to prove them wrong.
Awesome stuff. Today is a very exciting day, $150,000, and we're going to be crowning a North American champion. Get hyped. Tell all your friends this is happening because this is history in the making. We have an entire broadcast team here to deliver all of this to you as you watch from home at the top 4 teams in the world. One of those guys is standing by at the telestrator, ready to draw some cool things. Strong side, take it away.
Thank you, Alex. And yeah, we're here at the telestrator, and we do have some cool things to give away. So if you haven't signed up for the raffle yet, make sure you do so. We've got a lot of cool things you can win, and this is the first time I've got to use this, so we're about to go to town here, guys. You can win anything right here. All this stuff. Let's bring in this blue over here. You can win anything right here as well. And, you know, a lot of cool things. We've got Loot Crate. We've got an Xbox. We've got Team Liquid chairs, controllers, all the jerseys from the orgs. We actually saw a little bit from Sims as well before we got to use this thing. I think he made a little Twitter video, but we're going to have to see. Let's see. We've got Walshy here, and let's maybe see them play a 1v1. Who would be better? Would it be Walshy or would it be Sims? If these two guys played in a 1v1, who would win? You guys make your vote. Let us know who you think would win. Sign up for the raffle. Win some cool stuff. Tom, Sims, over to you guys for the match.
Oh, man. I got to say, in the 1v1, I think that Sims' toothpick that he left at my desk, or actually it wasn't a toothpick, it was dental floss. Thanks for the dental floss present on my desk, Sims.
EU teeth, they've got to keep them clean. You know, we get all the banter for it, so we at least have to do something. But I'm going to say I'd probably win a 1v1. We know what Day's like. He's played Halo 2 and Halo 3, but Halo 5.
Yeah,
Not that good.
and then you woke up,
Oh, he's just like you. All you boys are terrible at Halo 5.
We'll have to get it going then.
EU on NA when it comes to casters.
All right,
guaranteed.
you know what? We're gonna relegate you. We're gonna relegate you. Speaking of relegation, let's take a look at some of the highlights over there. Yesterday was absolutely crazy. What was your favorite part of yesterday? Had to be that overtime 3-up Enigma 6 game, right?
Yeah, it was absolutely insane, and I think that the main one was how do you drop at the end? I was sat behind Eco at the time. I think it was 8 kills in something like a minute. They had the lead, and the most important question that was on my mind yesterday, and I've heard plenty of people talking about it, Tom, Boo Boo Doo was absolutely dominant. He was stomping kids left, right, and center. But yet E6 was, I know, congratulations to them, they have qualified, but they were still struggling. He was carrying hard, but honestly, it wasn't easy. It was a difficult job for him.
Yeah, Boo Boo Doo Boo, you didn't think that he could continue to play like that throughout the rest of the day, and he did. But one of the big things to me was when Kratos needed to step it up the most, he actually did, and dropped a 20 bomb in one of those Slayer games. And that, to me, was a big statement. You saw him get fired up, and it was a rough road for these E6 guys. I mean, I can't imagine what it's like from going from, you know, the second best team from the summer finals to all of a sudden being the second worst team and finding yourself going up against a darn good team in 3-up. And 3-up, they're no joke. They put up a phenomenal fight, and I think it's definitely safe to say that they are probably the 9th best team here, but that's not cutting it. You have to be the top 8 team to make it into the Pro League. I'm wondering if anyone's going to be able to beat Boo Boo Doo Boo's performance that he had yesterday.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of, you know, this is now where we kind of step it up. We've got the 4 best teams in the world, it's safe to say. Anything can kind of happen. One person I want to call out for yesterday, and it's awful to call out a choke, but that battle on Regret that Rami lost with that plasma caster, and we just saw Shooter come in, completely mow him down with the AR.
Shooter.
Shooter. Is that? I'm not from London, man. Stop with this racism. I'm not from London and the north of England. Come on. Give me some love here. But more importantly, it was what Shooter did afterwards. He took the plasma caster and he dominated the map. They closed out the best. I mean, you've been casting Pro League for a while. How many times have we seen him, Ryan, when it matters most, just clutching up at the end of games every time?
Yeah, he did, and that's the thing is you can only have one player that's doing so good. Everyone else is going to have to step it up. So everybody really did step it up on that E6 team, and Allegiance as well. So props to those guys. Props to all those teams yesterday. But let's get your predictions on Championship Sunday.
Oh, well, we know you're going to go for winning, let's be honest here. It's definitely going to be a straight vote. Personally, I mean, it's you can't argue against the numbers, right? Dave called it perfectly. Optic Gaming, they look solid, they look sound. You would be surprised if they didn't win this. But everyone else has been stepping up to the plate, you know? I mean, more importantly for me, it's Liquid. How much they're gelling as a team, how super hyper-aggressive that roster has become. You saw them, they pushed Envyus into that double best of 7 back at HCS Vegas. Everyone's getting better. Everyone's starting to step up to the plate. Everyone's now kind of, the meta is becoming more borderline where everyone's around the same area. I don't think anyone's going to get stomped in this event. It's going to be a tight one, but I've got to go. I'm going to support Liquid in this one. I'm going to support my boy Spartan. Shout out to him. I think they're going to shock a lot of people.
Well, that's good. I'll have to take straight then. So you have Liquid straight, and then we have over there Optic and Envy. So everyone has a different prediction. So someone's not going to get pied in the face at the end of this. But guys, without further ado, I'm going to axle toss this on over to the analyst desk.
Thanks, T-Squared and Sims. And I love the fact that we're all talking about these different teams and their different strengths. Honestly, it kind of shows how close these teams are matched at the end of the day. Like, these are the best Halo players in North America, if not the world. And it's about time to get going with the first match. We're very close to starting here. It's Team Envyus versus STR8 Rippin. They're getting on the stage. They're getting set up. They've been preparing so long for this moment. One of the most important days of their lives as they compete for that $150,000 prize. Let's talk more about these teams. There you see Envyus there.
Yeah, Envyus is a scary squad, so I can somewhat respect Kyle's pick for choosing this squad, but some other casters, I mean, it's really tough to choose, I would say, Liquid or STR8 over Optic or Envy, especially over Optic.
Yeah, I mean, it is an amazing team, but I mean, Optic's deserved and proven that they are the team to beat. The best players, the best performances, absolutely dominating. Now, Envyus, like we said, built to take down this Optic Gaming squad. So whether or not they're going to be able to do it, we're going to find out later on. But they got to go through STR8 Rippin first.
There you see STR8 Rippin, the roster there. Of course, we talked about Eco there in the beginning. As the player to watch. Walshy, can STR8 Rippin make it happen here? It's tough. They're the number 4 seed against the number 1 seed Envyus. What needs to happen for them?
I mean, so many times in the past, people have doubted players like APG and Hines, and they've brought up rosters like Ambush and taken down titans of teams. And Envyus is no different. Now that you have all these players together in one squad, players like Ace, APG, Hines, Eco, they can easily take down an Envyus if Envyus aren't prepared.
All right, guys. I kind of want to ask your predictions, though. I want a scoreline. Best of 7. Who's going to take it here? STR8 Rippin versus Envyus.
I will say 4-1 in favor of Envyus.
You, Mike?
I'm going to go 4-2 in favor of STR8 Rippin.
All right, there you have it. A little bit of disagreement here on the couch, but without any further ado, let's get started with the Halo Championship Series Fall Regional Finals for North America. Over to the commentary desk, the Xfinity desk. We got T-Squared and Sims standing by. Take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Well, let's be honest, who else was Elamite going to choose? It was going to be STR8 Rippin all day, but I've got to say, Tom, regardless, this is going to be one hell of a matchup. Obviously, STR8 Rippin, the final week's just clutching it up, and it's such a night and day from how they started the Pro League to how they roll into this now. These guys are going to be fired up. It's not going to be an easy matchup. We do know they have to go against the number 1 seed in Pro League, but you know what? Liquid, they brought out the flaws in Envyus. They showed other people they can be beaten.
Yeah, they definitely can. As we take a look at the game types, starting off with CTF Truth, Slayer Coliseum, Eden Strongholds, Coliseum CTF, Plaza Slayer, Plaza Strongholds, and then Slayer Regret. Really like these game types for STR8 Rippin. I feel like they did a good job. I believe that Envy forfeited the first veto, and STR8 Rippin was able to pick which game type that they wanted to play, which is a little bit of an advantage and a little bit of a misplay coming out from Envy, maybe not waking up as early as that they should have. So let's see if any little small advantage could come into play here. And it's going to come down to really just shutting these guys down and controlling the weapons. That's what we saw yesterday with E6 talking about. That was their number 1 priority coming in there. It's impossible to fight back with just, pistols and assault rifle when everyone else has sniper rifle, rockets, scattershot, shotgun setup. But Truth CTF, classic Halo map. we're going to see a lot of running gunning. This is going to be a fast-paced game time.
All right, we're going to be kicking things off with Mikwin's POV. Personal favorite of mine. He's going to advance into P2, just checking out the camo, but straight away, absolutely gets fine. Eco's going to rip his face and take him down with a perfect. That's a nice top-middle push to at least gain some map presence, and Micro Controllers hop on board with his POV. He did actually going to say opt to avoid the rifle, but he's actually going to pick that one up instead. Moving into the base, Mikwin wants some revenge as he advances up into P2, laying down shots. Snipe down, gets the call out. Down goes Eco. Let's take a look at Heinz's POV, Tom.
Yeah, Heinz is going to drop. APG dropped as well with that camo. That was really important, but nice job by STR8 Rippin coming out from the start and at least getting that camouflage for them. Now Hoax is going to be able to secure that time for these guys as well. Sword sitting there in front of APG. Nice grenade. That's going to drop Hook as well. Ace coming in there with the carbine. Nice little push coming into P2. Let's see if they can get this kill onto Pistola. Pistola with the nice shots is going to back down APG, so he just calls that out and leaves him into P2. Maybe Bradley could have challenged that a little bit more, but looks like he's just going to slow play this one over towards P3 instead. There goes Pistola popping back out. He comes through with the battle rifle and gets the kill onto APG.
But it's actually going to be Pistola who's also dropped. 1, 2, 3 members of Envy will go down. We'll stick with Snipe down through the respawn, see where he's going to land straight off of this one. Coming back, going to be in the base. Advance. Nope, he will say, I'm just going to hold back for a second. Just going to take a pause, check out things, what's going on. Mikwin and Pistola down in the kill for you see 2 members of STR8 will be dropping. Just kind of getting his bearings. Grenades are going. Let's check out and see if we get any hit markers on there. None whatsoever. Looking up towards the fuel rod. Now, Tom, we know how much of a power weapon this is. Time and time again, teams will get this on the respawn, and the game can just snowball out of control at such a fast-paced rate.
Yeah, it's so powerful, and look at that. Snipe down stays alive while he's one shot, but no, Ace comes in with the shots across the map. We haven't seen anything from Ace's point of view quite yet. Let's see what he's got going on. Wow, nice shots again with the carbine dropping. Pistola, you have, looks like Eco pushing in under the base, and the raining of fire is happening from pink side. Unfortunately, Eco is going to drop, and it looks like Ace is getting shot in the back. A little slow play coming in from P2 by Mikwin with the flank. Nice play by Mikwin.
We're going to have a look at Huke's POV because 3 members of STR8 have just dropped. Pretty even game at the moment. It's always nice to see this old P3 top-middle combo coming out. They're patrolling the areas. They're locking down that 50% of the map. That was the player, definitely. I caught for it, and so did
Huge
it. Down goes the camo guy. Snap down is ripped out of the server. Swords there as well. He's in a great place, though. Fair enough, he's taking a couple of shots.
That map movement.
Exactly. One person's just round the corner. His teammates helped him out as well, so I believe that's either 2 or 3. This will definitely be 3. Misses the Spartan charge, misses the second beatdown. Thankfully, stays alive.
He does. That's 2 dead. You also see Eco getting that perfect as well. Can he get this sword launch? It's huge if he does. He gets you. Last guy alive. Where is he? He has to be flanking the base. STR8 Rippin has to be aware of the carbine spawns. Mikwin's going to drop. Everyone should be in good position over here to defend this. If Heinz can defend this base, he drops the snipe down, but Bradley APG picks up that kill. First cap going to STR8 Rippin.
Look at the pressure that they put on Carbine, even from Ace back in the opponent's base, Tom. He was still nading across. He was still scoping in. You saw Heinz giving a couple of shots, but that's a choke, unfortunately. Finally, they shut down Ace, which they needed to do. He was causing way too much trouble with that sword, just allowing him. Again, Eco missing a shot. Pistola says, thank you very much. I'll take that one. Takes him down. Heinz's POV going to be checking out P2. Someone's rotating back. Here comes the sword guy. Storm rifle comes out. What a better way to shut down a player if someone's dive bombing you with that one. Don't want to be shooting people at that long range, so gets out the Magnum, but that player's going to run away with his life.
And then he's going to find the sword. He also gets Pistola right there as well. So nice job by Heinz, staying alive over here. And he's looking to pick up that sword as soon as he can. Snipe down pretty far out in the open. Surprised that he's staying alive that long. That must mean that Envy has pretty solid position on the map right now. Nice job listening to calls, picking up Hook, but everyone dying all around. Pistola picking up a double kill. That's going to be a nice kill by Ace, making it a 2-on-2 situation. He also has the fuel rod, so let's see what's going on with Ace, because he's been doing some serious work in this series so far.
Yeah, he just tanked up a double in the kill feed. One player pops up on the radar. Pistola, though, is answering back himself because he also has a fuel rod. Fuel rods on both sides of the map for each team. Mikwin comes in with a double. That's going to be a nice hot 5. It's going to be Heinz who needs to take down Snipe down, though. At least kind of make some traction up into the P area. Look how much pressure people are giving on him. Unfortunately, misses the beatdown. That's going to be Mikwin with the camo. Snipe down as well with a nice hot 4 from a BR. But Eco at least takes down Hook, stops something else. I've just copped for a fuel rod in the corner. That's got plenty of ammo in it, Tom. He could do some serious damage here.
Yeah, but you got to be careful because Pistola also has camo too. So he has camo fuel rod and he gets the kill on the camo fuel rod player as well. We'll switch on over to Snipe down, see what he's doing because this flag is being ran car 1.
There's actually 2 fuel rods on the floor, so if someone gets that, that's a hell of a lot of ammo and a big advancement for one team. putting a lot of pressure on that P side, though. 2 players running into P2. They're both half shields. I'm not seeing any kind of assist medals kind of creeping up on the kill feed. They're going to still be alive. Pistola and Miquin, they will take down 2 members of Straight, so 2 down, 1 alive at the moment. Ace will stop the flag run just a little bit more, but that is out in the open, but it's not in the best of positions. A bit of a dead zone, would you say it's on bottom mid?
Oh, that's a big misplay coming up from Ace. Snipe down, gets the kill onto him, but yeah, that is still sitting there. It's still alive, so you got to be careful if you're STR8 because it's very hard to return that one. And yes, they grab that again. They're probably going to toss it right back up into the window, but no, that's just sitting underneath the base over here. And now you have Heinz just doing whatever he can to stay alive. That's going to be 1 kill. That's 2 kills. That flag's still sitting there. Heinz trying to stay alive in the bubble. Can they get the touch? That flag is just 1 thrust away from being put in. That's 3 dead. Flag still sitting there. Heinz leaves that area, and they don't end up getting the return. So I don't know if Pistola spawned there, or if they were just slow playing that. I literally think they spawned there.
Oh, this is a huge battle, but it's going to be Envyus who comes out on top. 2-1 now, the score. Finally taking the lead in this game. Number 1, map number 1. Snipe down with the BR. Grenade goes in. Easy kill for him. Picks up a double as well. And look at that. You just hear the teamwork in the ears. It's going to be Straight who will answer back with 2 themselves, but he just spins around on a pinhead, gets a call out. Someone's at bubble. Doesn't get the kill, but finally they shut him down. We're going to see Ace coming in with that kill. Heinz checking out on this P3 side. He hears the call out that someone's hanging around P2. Sees the red X of death on his screen. Knows his teammate has died. Couple of windy shots there at the end, but finally does take out Hook, which is fine. Gets him out of the base. Now moving into the enemy base, patrolling, taking a look at bottom mid. Camo's going to be up. They're going to bang that one in. 5:18. Next one dropping in 2 minutes. Watch for that on the clock. And at the moment, it just seems to be a little bit more back and forth, but I'm feeling that the kill's kind of going in the hands of Envyus. It would appear from what I'm seeing on the kill feed, Tom.
Yeah, it looks like Envy is up right now by 7 kills. Obviously, it's CTF, the scoreline in the bottom right. You have to worry about that a little bit more. But something to be worried about right now if you're Envy is that you have Fuel Rod and Camo right now in the hands of Heinz. And that's going to be 3 dead. That's a fresh 3 dead. They need to run this flag ASAP. Last guy alive underneath the base. Heinz needs this kill ASAP. He's still there. There it is. They're going to be spawning over towards top car. You have multiple players in position. There's the spawners. Heinz needs to get up here ASAP. There it is. He's behind 2 of them. Lands 1 Fuel Rod. There's the other. Can he get sniped down? No. Sniped down with the clutch over towards the bubble, but this flag should be going in, and it does. Tied up 2-2.
Yeah, he didn't get the kill, but he's at least a massive nuisance to them, so they didn't focus on him, and they had to pull back. 2 of them, I expected just to bomb in and try and get the stop, but they couldn't do that. It was great work from Heinz. Great trigger discipline as well. He didn't just go YOLO firing, he held back for a second. Just taking a look at some of the power-ups on either side. Blue team at the moment they're going to have 2 power-up pickups on the opposing side. It's exactly the same. For red team, they're on 60 kills. It's going to be blue team with 56, so pretty even neck and neck at this moment in time. But I think that's 1,
Snipe
2,
down with
3.
the God spawn.
Yeah,
that was
3
such a lucky spawn there by Snipe down, popping up in the bubble as Eco was already kind of over there. Let's see if STR8 gets punished for this, because now the flood comes in for Envy. Their only opportunity here is to try to kill the players pushing into their base. They do get 1 onto Pistola. They get 2, so really nice job stopping the push coming in, and they get 3 with the sword. Wow.
Ace clutching up when it mattered most to take out the Fuel Rod out of the base. Eco coming off the spawn, just checking around, making sure no one's in there, and that base is clear. 3:30 remaining on the clock to make something happen. He's going to advance up to top mid. Someone's in the bubble as well. Richie Heinz will be dropped down. He needs to get this kill, but unfortunately he's getting tanked up from the window. Backing off for a second. Storm rifle in hand. Just crouching around, waiting for someone to come around that corner, which he does. Nice long range on
damage. 3 dead now.
And now they can at least make something happen.
All
they can push up. That's all 4 down for Envyus, but the flag's not being moved. No one's in the position.
They had to get the kills first. Yeah.
Is this what happens now, Tom? Do they need to get the kills again and just kind of
play them out? They need to get the kills one more time because they weren't in position. Envy, remember, STR8 was on the verge of getting trapped at their base, so it took a while for them to fight and claw their way out here, and now Envy kind of doing the same thing, so it's a little bit of rinse and repeat over here. But look at those shots coming in from Eco with the carbine, and he maintained a majority of his shield, so he can just continue to be a nuisance over here and help towards P2. I can't believe that player didn't die right there. They need to charge up towards that street and get that player. Here comes Miquin trying to shut down the guy that has been being such an annoyance in that bubble. Finally, Eco's going to drop.
That's exactly what they needed to do. He's just been adding so much pressure in the bubble. He got about 3 or 4 kills just hanging around and being a complete nuisance, and they were focusing him so much. But in that meantime, in doing that, you know, none of STR8 Rippin managed to advance up. He was kind of on his own for a while. Fair enough, he got the kills. But on the opposing side, now here comes the flood here from Envyus. They're going to push in. Miquin picks up 1. Flag's going to get touched. They're going to be running this over on the P side, but they need to. He's got the P3 cover, which is absolutely fantastic. So long as somebody's covering Carbine, this is going to be game number 1 going in their hands. They're running this one in. No one's touching him. Going to slide this one in. No! That's going to get captured. Is anyone in position to actually grab it? Yes. Hines is there as well. He's going to pull the opposing flag out. This just got rather interesting, ladies and gentlemen. They could potentially
that was a big melee, though.
Get a return. There are several members in there. Players dropping left, right, and center. There you have it. Envyus. They're going to take map number 1.
Yeah. That green gun grab by Mikwin was pretty clutch at the end, charging in there. Thought Ace was going to be able to do it, but whoever landed that melee down towards the end saw a couple of uncharacteristic 1v1 fights lost by Straight. They got outslayed by 10 overall, so that was a very well-played game by both teams, but overall Envy clutching it at the end. Mainly, I got to give hats off to Mikwin, who had a pretty good game.
Yeah, we're taking a look at some of the stats there. I'm trying to see. We had a triple kill coming out of Eco as well. Pretty much towards the end of that game, Pistola. Couple more different things. We had red team with 83 kills, blue team with 73, so 10 advantage there for the red side. Looking at some of the power up pickups as well. We had 2 in the favor of red, 3 in the hands of blue. There's some more different stats on here, but we'll take a look at them on screen. Let's take a look at spec mode and move that one across. 23 kills coming out of Pistola, 23 for Mikwin, 26 for Ace. Absolutely going massive when it mattered most. Unfortunately, though, we have to call him out on that one, Tom. Richie Hines, 11 and 22, double negative, not really stepping it up when it mattered most.
Yeah, Hines has to step it up because in the scrims, he seems to be the one person struggling the most against Envy out of anybody. So looking for him and APG really to go big here in order for Straight Rippin to win this series. But again, the couple of misplays individually coming in, getting a little bit too weak in certain situations that you shouldn't be, especially at the end there, trying to get that flag and again, that melee into P2. So that's the result of what happened there. But either way, I think that that's a good start for Straight Rippin just to show that they're serious contenders in making this series close.
And again, if he now warms up, if he clutches up, if he steps up, that honestly could have gone in their favor. That was such a close game. There was only a 10 kill difference when we look at the slaying power across the board. I've got to ask you though, Tom, Coliseum Slay, can you take anything away from that truth and kind of...
Nah.
Nothing at all?
Every game type in Halo 5 plays so differently. Excuse me, but let's take a look at Hugh. And any time that you play a game like CTF Truth, you lose track of what actually matters sometimes in the next game type, which is all about the weapons. You can't win Slayer Coliseum without having more power weapon kills than the other team. That's just how this game type goes. So it's all about those weapons, and we'll find out who's going to be able to control those.
Pretty dangerous roster when it comes to snipers. You got Snipe down on there. We've seen Hugh do godlike things, and even Mikwin has always been known back in H2A, one of my favorite snipers towards of HCS seasons 1 and 2, just pulling ridiculous stuff on the opposing side. Again, you got any person, Ace himself, any one of these members can go off with that sniper rifle, but you've got plenty of other weapons on the map. You've got the rockets, you've got the scatter shot. Any personal preference, Tom, on which kind of, if you had to choose 2 of those, well, one of the weapons, more side, rocket side, you've got sniper, which is the more powerful one on this map?
I don't know. It's tough to say. I mean, depends on your play style. Personally, I like both Sims.
Oh, well, we know that. Casually grab them both and just YOLO it on. But me personally, the sniper, because of the long range of this map, especially if you just got someone up on the back, they can just peel faces. You know what? It's not necessarily about the objective. It's all about the Slayers. We are in a team Slayer. Welcome along if you are just joining us, guys. This is the North American Finals, the HCS Fall Season Pro League. We've got Team Envyus going up against Straight Rippin. This is map number 2, Championship Sunday. We have got some incredible matches coming up.
Sure do. So that's going to be 4-2 now, make that 4-3. But it looks like Envy was able to get some good snipe control. So I believe they do have that weapon in the hands of Snipe Down. So you got to be careful right now if you are Straight Rippin, because he does have that weapon. So we're going to switch on over to him.
We can actually take a quick look at the observer mode as well, so you can see the player outlines on screen now, especially to give you guys some eyes on what's going on across the map. Lining up one player, it's going to be APG, gets a bullet planted in the back of his head. He kind of knows, he's got the call out there, catches one player, he's half shield. All he has to do is hit him in the body, which he does. Snipe Down takes down another player coming off the spawn now. He's going to check Red Cave. I like that play. What's the kind of, is this the best place for him to be when you look in comparison to his team, Tom? Or do you think he's overextended a bit too much?
Being on the elbows is definitely a very powerful position to be in. Running back from elbow to elbow is a very deadly combination I don't know about this angle down here. I think he's dropping because his teammates had died, or maybe he had gotten a call out. But I'm a big fan of just constantly rotating back and forth over here as he picks off another kill. Make that a killing spree here for a snipe down. So deadly with this weapon. STR8 Rippin really has to get this out of his hands.
One of his teammates is going to be on the left-hand side. You can see on the player outlines, there's two. We're actually getting the flank over here in blue cave. There needs to be Ola who takes him down. I think he actually didn't. Pistola got taken down by Ace. So there comes the call, right? They know they're over in blue cave. Time to rotate back. This is textbook play. If you know where they're going to be spawning, they're going to be on side of blue, move back to red. Why not? They're going to be rotating around with your team and you're going over to red, rotate across. Simple, simple plays. This is exactly what he's doing, and he couldn't have called it more perfect, Tom. He's been such a nuisance right now and been alive to do so much damage, and I think in the back of any Halo player's mind, they have to be aware that he's here, and you can't really move that much. That they've just got to shut him down, but it's easier said than done.
Well, what you do is you play around snipe down, because look how hard he's looking for the kills, but at the same time, everybody around him is dying. So you keep aware of where he is, and you don't give up any dumb deaths, but it's up to snipe down to rotate. So even though he's on this amazing, crazy spree right now, they still have no idea necessarily where he is. He's just literally rotating elbow to elbow. And without this spree right now, it'd be a pretty favorable game in favor of STR8 Rippin.
This is pretty disgusting, and I like it how you kind of note on that one, Tom. They're only up by 2 kills. They're only up by 1 kill. But Snipe Down is pretty much taking him to town at this moment in time. He is in a little bit of trouble, gets caught off at the oven, tries to get the stick, doesn't actually land. But finally, he's shut down. That's going to be APG with a double. You can see in the kill feed there. And they're only up by 1. Mikwin will back Sniper, but excuse me, it's going to be Rockets. Still, I'm really interested to see what's going on here. I don't understand how Snipe Down can be doing so much damage, but his teammates are just dropping like flies.
Yeah, now you have 2 people make it out over there towards the elbow side. And they have the rockets as well, so this is very important that STR8 Rippin doesn't allow these guys to stay alive. Hook, he's going to shoot a miracle rocket. That one's not going to land. And look at these guys. They're just running over down towards the trench. They're stuck.
So over on the opposing side, just to let you guys know at home, it's going to be Eco has actually got the sniper rifle. He's rotating around S3, so they need to be extremely careful and aware of him. Hook, though, advancing in, takes down one with the rocket. Now looking around, going to be jumping over pyramid, just checking all the angles, checking all the corners. He's hunting down this sniper rifle, because if they let Eco do exactly what Snipe Down did to them, then they could be in a hell of a lot of trouble. 21-21. This is a very fragile and slow game.
Yeah, they're collapsing hard over there. That was a very unfortunate turn of events over towards that snipe side, but a really nice job by Hook going over and bringing the rockets towards that area and making sure that he didn't waste any more rockets, because it's very important to utilize that and get over towards the positioning. And getting that kill onto APG and then eventually helping towards Hines really open up the map for these guys.
We've actually had the sniper rifle go down on the opposing side. We will hunt through spectator mode to see who has that. It was actually Mikwin, but he's also dropped. We're going to be sticking on Hook's POV for a while until we actually see who does manage to get that. It's over on red side. Mikwin coming off the spawn as well. Hook just lingering around at S3 area, which is absolutely fine. You might as well do. He's got 2 players trying to ground pound to get away from the shots. Unfortunately, he will drop down. Move across to Ace's POV, but you know what, guys? It's time for a listing. Let's dive on in with STR8 Rippin. Let's hear how they're kind of talking are going to deal with this next matchup.
Corner, one corner.
Pyramid. I can't go maze.
Sniper flag, sniper cage.
He's blue maze, scatter.
So blue maze.
And red Siggy. We got it.
We're all gonna die. Corner.
Are you both power? I'm at red. What do you want to do? Yo, blue BR, they saw us.
What's sniper cave? Red sniper now has a shot. We can top cat.
Alright, we have to make this.
Sniper right now. We're good.
Yo, blue window, jumping out and open.
I'm already grassing. Sniper right now. Go over to your snipe. Red.
I'm looking.
Red window. Watch out. We're sniper right now. We're sniper weak. We are. Watch out, sniper. From where?
I don't know.
Blue window maybe? Red maze, top cat.
I'm no shields, guys.
Okay, sniping, I think.
Snipe.
Red BR, looking at you, Kevin.
I'm gonna die.
I spawned a blue.
Power up in this minute. Sniper, one shot, Hook. Sniper, 2 there.
Blue flag.
Hook's the one shot.
Flag on me,
Red sniper. 2. Keep pyramid.
I'm gonna die.
Don't
blue
die.
flag on me, guys.
Top cat. 2 top cat looking for you, Kevin. And one's red BR.
Sniping red BR, one shot.
Aaron, go with me. I'm here.
Okay, okay. Brad, you don't help.
I'm going cave. Top cat has a shot.
Yo, blue corner on me.
Guys, scatter weak. Red cave. Red cat.
I got shots on.
I ran the grass.
Where do you go?
Top cat.
Elbow.
Sniper.
Rocket's coming up.
Sniper. Blue BR.
One shot with sniper.
Blue BR.
Nice. Another one blue BR.
Play your life, Kevin.
Shot blue BR.
Blue elbow, guys.
Top rockets on Kevin.
Blue bounce though.
Kevin needs help.
Alright, I'm gonna try to back up.
I died, guys.
Push me.
Rockets up, they got him. I can't tell you.
2 there.
One red rock street.
Ola has rockets.
There's blue cat.
Looking.
Guy there.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Rush, snipe stop. He's at grass or something. Snipe.
Yeah, it's gonna be grass. It's gonna be grass.
Is he going to snipe him? I can't hit him. Snipe down on BR.
I'm okay, you guys.
I can't help you, Kevin.
Three guys on me.
Yo,
I
got
got an aid.
Red Stinky,
Hit him, he's red stinky though. Red stinky weak.
One shot, Stinky. We got red out.
No help, Aaron, no help, Aaron,
Got
no
rocket.
help,
Red
Aaron.
Stinky's the one shot.
And there you have it, the communication coming in from Straight Rippin, but so much power weapon control coming out from the side of Envy. Taking a look at the power weapon kills, 17 power weapon kills for Envy, 2 power weapon kills for Straight Rippin. That's just not gonna cut it, Sims.
10-kill lead here on Colosseum Slayer. Not the best of games. It were all tied up at 21-21, and now it seems to happen. It's that magic number of 30. Every time we're watching Halo, they get around that, and one team just begins to snowball, and kind of called it perfectly, Tom. The amount of power weapon kills just kind of says it all. Not managing the weapons, not timing the weapons, watching them. It's always been in the hands of Envyus. We've got a Bob on board with Snipedown once again. He's got that wonderful weapon in his hands, looking to make something happen. He only needs 6 more kills. Got plenty of bullets in the chamber. That's 8. If there's any man who can end this game with this weapon, it's this one. Trying to get away, which he doesn't quite do. However, at least he ran to a teammate who's going to be able to pick up that, and no better person than Hook.
Special delivery right on over to Hook. And Straight Rippin ends up being down 7 kills, which is definitely doable. They just have to get this weapon out of Hook's hands and try to set up for these next rockets. So those are the 2 big plays that they need to make, and also not give up any dumb individual deaths towards people that don't have the weapons. But nice pressure coming in from Mikwin, and Hook is going to bait Hines out, and they get that kill. And it's looking a little bit scary now that it's 48-38. We were talking about how it is possible, but they did exactly what they had to do on the side of Envy. Closing this game out should be a 50-38 win.
Yeah, 2 players boxing in the red cave. Here comes Hook to try and seal the deal. Not entirely sure where that one player's gone. He's going to be running around, hiding down on the oven, seals the deal. Handshakes all around as the usual man, the myth, the team captain, the legendary Snipedown. They're getting hyped. They take game number 2. Some big numbers coming out of some individuals there. We'll take a look up at the Observer in just a second. Show you guys who's going to be racking up again. You're looking at those power weapon kills. 19 in the hands of Envyus compared to a mere 3. That's huge. 16 power weapon difference. I mean, that tells the story, right? Or am I
that's the
wrong,
whole
Tom?
story. That's what I said before the game. You know, whoever has the more power weapon kills is going to win this game. Straight Rippin did a nice job just keeping it close. They only lost by 11 kills with a 16 differential in terms of power weapon kills. A lot of it have to do with Snipedown over here with the snipe, but more or less the rockets as well. They weren't aware of any of the weapons on the map. They weren't going for any of the weapons. They have to step it up and get a little bit more intense and call out where they're going on the map and where, you know, players are going to potentially, you know, be, and say the name. Say, hey, Snipedown has the snipe. Let's locate him. Let's find him. Let's call it out and single him out.
All right, then, guys, we're going into map number 3. It's going to be Eden Strongholds, a map that we saw played quite a lot yesterday, and one that seems to be favored within the Pro League. Any tips for this one, Tom? We know you're a big fan of the tips out there.
Eden Strongholds, it's, you know, played much differently than Slayer, obviously. You know, in Slayer you want to control blue, things like that. The big thing, obviously, in Eden Strongholds is control of that catwalk, because if you have control of the catwalk, then you are controlling the camouflage as well, which is very important. And then obviously just controlling the weapons, Sims. I mean, can't say it enough. You have multiple weapons on this map. You're going to have the rockets, which are not as big as the power-ups, but we have a hybrid here of power-ups and power weapons. So it's all about control. Envy is a control team. Snipedown, he's been one of the main slayers in Halo for a very long time. You have to take these weapons out of his hands.
Richie Hines, you just caught for on screen. They're not having the best of maps. Really wanting to see Richie Hines step it up and stamp his name on the North American finals, because over the years we've seen Hines. We know he can perform at this level. We've seen him do it time and time again. The man is a living legend. See what he can do in map number 3. And you kind of agree with what Walshy mentioned yesterday, that nest on this map is, when you're looking over to Top Cat as well, super, super important.
Nest?
Yeah.
Be important? Yeah, I mean, Nest and Catwalk are the 2 most important strongholds to prioritize, so you want to watch out for those, and you got to watch out for Mikwin, who is really good at going for the overshield in the beginning of the game.
Well, let's kick off his POV and see if he does exactly that. It's as if you've watched these guys a few times before, Tom. There you have it. Slams it into his chest. Absolutely textbook. 2 guys bottom mid. Rather interesting. They're going to challenge him, though. The overshield has been ripped from his back by that beatdown. At least one player, though, just playing ring around the roses. His teammate, Hook, comes in, helps him out. And there's Pistola. So that's probably a minimum of 3.
Makes me scratch my head.
Yeah.
And just wonder what they're doing in the beginning of the game there. All 4 dead. They don't get anything on the map. They can't get demoralized and feel like these guys are better than them, because the fact of the matter is they're keeping up. They're just losing the power weapon battles. The 1v1s, they could be a little cleaner.
Yeah,
That's the type of 1v1 that you need to win. So I'm seeing some uncharacteristic things, and, you know, as an owner of the team, a little frustrating.
So, 7 kills in the form of red team, only 4 on the side of blue. We're going to see a big grenade coming. Finally, Mikwin's spree is ended. But we look across at Hook. He's got the rockets on his back. Going to fire a couple in, getting some shots down from Minicat. Finally, they will clean him up. It's going to be Straight who actually take the first 2 plots and put the first points on the board.
As much as I'm scratching my head how they all go 4 dead, I'm wondering how the heck these guys didn't get the strongholds on the side of Envy.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Well, what are they securing? They have the overshield, they have the camo, they have the rockets.
They were looking for a hell of a lot at the start. They were getting so many kills, but they didn't, as you mentioned, Tom, they just didn't seem to transfer that into stronghold points. However, now looking at take control of Cat, this will be a big, important kill from the Straight player. I'm not entirely sure who it is. That's going to be Hines. Oh, unfortunately, gets fed a hand grenade.
Nice nade, though.
Yeah, speaking of grenades, Snipe Down himself gets taken out. We'll stick with him through the spawn. Huke in the kill feed is picking up a double kill, however, which will at least try and hold something back. And there we go, Catwalk is touched. That's going to be by a Straight player.
Now, this is obviously a must-win, Sims, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
So, this game type, you know, we'll talk about a little bit how Straight Rippin in the scrims against Envy compared to Liquid, they don't match up against Envy nearly as much as they do against Liquid and Optic. So I think it was like somewhere around 28-2 the scrims were between Straight and Envy, the last 2 scrims that they played, but they've been almost virtually splitting games with Liquid and Optic. So these guys seem to have their number, and they seem to, you know, have their play styles that they're just completely comfortable with. Straight Rippin's gonna have to, again, control the weapons and just try to throw these guys off their game, because Snipe Down right now, as you saw that tweet coming in from Doug, he's just getting everything that he wants on the map.
However, once again, it's going to be Mikwin who's got the OS on the opposing side. That is both camos and also both overshields
and
going
rockets
in the hands, and rockets going in the hands of Team Envyus. 0 power-up pickups in the hands of Straight. They need to really get a hold of them. But again, you kind of touched on it, Tom. It doesn't really tell the full story because they're only winning by 1 point. You know, we've seen Strongholds. It can be an extremely rubber band game type, but since that Catwalk has transferred into the hands of Envyus, it's not gone back to Straight Rippin. Snipe Down, pushing the triple cap though. He's going to creep on into Nest, just make sure Bob and we make sure no one's there. But look at that, he saw the shots coming out of the corner. Grenade goes in, hit markers there, going to check the window. That player's not going to be able to push and really aggressively because of its lack of shields. Triple cap in full effect. Now the time will really start to rank up.
Yeah, it looks like they're going over towards the blue bend on the side of Straight Rippin, but Envy is already there. So now Eco put in an awkward situation where he wants to try to defend this, but instead he just decides that he wants to shoot the barrels instead. He also has some nice help coming in. Can Ace get back in here before that gets reset? You do have, it looks like APG is trying to defend the blue side because Envy is starting to capture that one, but no, not going to be enough defense coming in from these guys. Rockets coming up here, Overshield coming up, Camo. If they give this on over to Envy, I feel like this series is going to be over, Sims.
Well, we'll stick and see who grabs these rockets. We'll dive. Just carry on with Ace's POV. His player in there, so he knows the rockets are going to be roaming 3. They're down on Minicat. Fantastic. Absolutely. God grenade, though, and cleans up Pistola. So Rocket's going to be taken out of the hands of Envyus. He's going to tuck his head in, try and stay alive. No doubt he'll be calling for one of his teammates to pick that up as he moves on into Blue Bend, checking inside Blue. OS as well. Now, Tom, now they've finally got some power-ups. They've got some power weapons, but let's see if they can take control.
Yeah, looking to see if they can actually get the rockets though, because we're going to switch on over to Hook, who does have that weapon. And no power weapon kills on the map quite yet, but it's been heavy power weapon or power up control in the favor of Envy. And again, that's what they specialize in. So we're going to have to see some sort of fight here from Straight Rippin by getting these rockets out of Huke's hands. He's just, again, Envy, they're getting whatever they want on the map right now. They're playing this pretty much to perfection in terms of the positioning and where they're rotating based on what the information that they're getting from each other.
Just so you guys at home know, on the opposing side, APG does have 15 seconds of his overshield left. He's still for a while now. He's got the SMG in his back pocket. He's just been alive. No one's taken this OS off him. Finally, as soon as I say that, you see it in the kill feed. He does drop, so OS is now no longer in play on the map. Hook wandering around catwalk, wants to try and turn this. Helps his teammate out. They're going to tag that up. Double. Triple cap once again. Gone full effect. We were going to go into a listening, but I think this one is going to escalate a little bit too quickly, so we'll hold off on that and we'll stick with the commentary. And again, this is kind of all Hook needs to do, Tom. He's just banged around, again, on his hands and knees.
Yeah, this game's over.
GG.
Sorry to say. I mean, I'm an optimistic person, but this series is over, this game is over. I don't see STR8 be able to come back from this unless something magical happens. I mean, I just look at the amount of power-up and power weapon control, and that is one of the most important, if not the most important thing in this game, and it's just completely non-existent right now for STR8, and they're making it so much harder on themselves. And the more that you fall down in the series, the more you start to get demoralized because of the fact that Envy is just so, you know, such a well-oiled machine. They know exactly what they want to do, and they're just making it look easy. Every time you go to their screen, it's just, you know, virtually them doing whatever they want, just lollygagging around the map.
Snapdown picks up a double in the kill feed. They need to get a hill back, and they need to do it now if they want to put a stop and make it and at least have any life and show signs of life in this map. Unfortunately, they will not be able to do that. Envyus takes map number 3. We'll take a quick look. What we're talking about, the power-up pickups. It was actually only 2 power-ups in the hand of STR8 compared to 6.
And at the very end there, that was one of them compared to 6. I mean, that's just not going to cut it. 3 times of the amount of power-ups grabbed, multiple power weapon kills as well. It's just a recipe for disaster right now. They didn't even get outslayed that heavily. What was it, 46 to 34? So outslayed by 12 without any of the weapons, without any of the power-ups. Again, if they could just grab these and get something going for themselves, they'll be in great position. But who's going to shut down who? 16-3. That's amazing.
Amazing stuff from them indeed. Moving on into map number 4. STR8 Rippin, unfortunately, looking down the barrel of a loser bracket run. Envyus looking absolutely titanic as we move on into Coliseum, capture the flag. Now, let's be honest here, last time they played Coliseum, Tom, it wasn't the greatest. Snipdown was allowed to just do what Snipdown does best, roam freely with that auto sniper rifle. Talk to me how much different capture the flag plays. Can you just roam as freely as that with a sniper?
Coliseum CTF, it's, you know, just as powerful as having Sniper and Coliseum Slayer, but when I take a look at these game types, obviously this is a must-win for STR8 or they're out of the tournament, but they're a very good Plaza team. So the fact that 2 plazas are coming up is really good for them. So if they can win this, they put up a fight in Plaza. It's 2 plazas in a row. We could be looking at a game 7, but I don't know. It's tough to say. I mean, 19 power weapon kills to 3 in Coliseum Slayer. If that happens again, I mean, you can just close the book.
Take a look at the vetoes then on screen. For your game number 4, Truth, CTF is ejected from the pool as we'd already played it once this morning. Envyus comes in with the stasis ban. STR8 Rippin opts to take out Fathom, which lands us here on Coliseum. The guys over on STR8 Rippin, a couple of down faces then. I mean, I've still got to say Richie Hines, I didn't catch his stats there, unfortunately. We might be able to bring him up on here. I'm just taking a look.
6 and 13. It's been a very rough series for him, for sure.
It's the 3rd one with a major negative.
Every time I watch the scrims, every time I look at the stats from the games, I mean, Richie, great overall player. He seems to really struggle against Envy. Something about it, maybe going against former teammates or something along those lines, or maybe just a little bit of a sluggish start for him again. I've been seeing very good things, from STR8 Rippin, especially in that first game, but since then, they've kind of fallen flat.
Well, we'll kick things off with Heinz's POV. This is a do or die map here for STR8 Rippin if they want to keep their winner bracket run dreams alive. Kicking things off with Richie Hines not having the best of series so far. Let's see if he can turn it round and clutch up when it matters most. Snapdown going to jump down into grass. still not, it's things like that. I'm not actually seeing the fact that no one's cleaned that one up there. You see a lot of assist medals for some of these top teams, but was that actually a stick that's going to bounce off the floor, so then players will. But at the moment, it's Envyus who just kind of wandering around. 4 kills for Envyus, 5 kills now. Only 1 in the hands of Straight Rippin. That's 7 kills in the hands of Envyus. They are just, they're straight up eliminating Straight Rippin time and time again. At least a rocket comes in to stop that one, I believe, but the flag's going to get touched. That's a pretty quick cap, Tom. They've let that one go.
Yeah, I think he may be able to get the kill with that grenade, but no, Mikwin's going to slow play that one. And it seems like Envy, again, they get everything that they want. Pistola goes for the scatter shot. Hook ends up going for the sniper rifle. I mean, it's not rocket science here in the beginning. So just a poor start, poor strategy here coming out from Straight to get it going. And it's just really hard when you're down this much. I mean, you have Envy sitting there smiling, feeling like they're going to win the tournament. They're up 3-0 in the series. They're just going to continue to put the pressure on. So, again, I thought that once we saw Eden Strongholds come, that the series was virtually over. I don't want to, play spoiler for you guys, but just look at how well Envy's playing. They're running on all full cylinders right now.
Well, we're going to bob on board with Mikwin's POV. We'll stick on the spectator mode. Let's dive on into a listing and hear how Envyus are going to clutch out this map number 4.
Rocket.
Someone push your rockets and go for a pull.
Our corner on me.
A corner on Ola, yeah.
Good job,
Ola. Good trade.
You suck.
Alright, yeah, I'm their sniper.
Their window.
Their sniper ramp, right?
Dude, I'm going.
They're back
Alright, fuck it. Back pyramid. There's sniper ramp as well. Yo, I'm on the window. 2 at snipe.
You're back for rocket.
Window on me. 2 at snipe, no help. One to their window. One to their window was scattered. Going there. He's their shrooms on shot. Nade window. No, he's going off mountain.
I don't even want to.
He's got corner. I think he saw you. Nice. Good jump.
Where they at?
Good lift. Killed one.
I cannot.
Literally
What's their BR? Their BR weak.
This is the scatter guy on RBR.
RBR was scattered. One shot, going maze. Going maze. Our maze is scattered.
I don't know. It was high.
Who was their BR? He's over corner. Ron, you
One shot. You killed him.
I killed one. There was a scatter guy.
He was episode sniper.
I pushed him. I got corner. Top cat.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, top cat. I'm pushing their corner. I'm pushing their corner. If you want
Top cat. Our side.
I'm going to our base. I'm making sure we're good.
Alright, that's fine. I'm their corner right now and I'm baiting. I want you guys to know that.
That's okay.
Our snake with the DM.
Their corner.
Two shots.
Yeah, you're just gonna bait rockets.
They're in the corner. They're in the corner. They know you're there.
They're
RBR, guys.
Okay, weak.
Go for full. Sneak. Yeah.
Okay,
They fucking scatter RBR, dude.
RBR, kill me. Eco.
No one die.
You have to say louder.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go for this.
Our window on you, Eric?
Tour window.
I kept the guy window weak, but
Possibly.
Are they going out window with us?
yes, it makes
I rocketed him.
Watch out, flag, guys. Watch out, flag. I stopped there. I stopped there.
I killed
They're corner. They're corner right now. Rocketed.
That's me.
Yeah, that was us.
Alright, we're getting free.
I have 2 rockets.
Behind you, top side. Just get it.
I got Ree, though. Nice. Good play, Austin. One shot, grass. Dead.
They're BR.
They're
weak.
They're sneaking to top pyramid. Top pyramid already, Ola. He's up there. Let's go.
I got the sniper.
Oh, you can get it?
Yeah, I got it. I'm out of ammo with rockets.
Nice. 3. That was 3. Push. That was 3. That go.
Rocket corner open.
Cave. Absolutely. Back flag. Stay alive. Do not die. I'm not even gonna fight this, dude. I'm pulling it. Dead. He's one shot back flag behind. Pull it. Go silver. Eric, throw it out silver.
They're spawning right next to me.
Yeah,
2 top rockets.
I'm backing up.
Oh, you missed it. Their basement. Just live. They're gonna get the Ree.
I got Ree. I got it.
Stay alive.
Your window.
There's a base. That's yo.
Are they going for it?
No. I got one. I'm gonna pull it in the middle.
There's 2 dead. They're gonna be.
I'm throwing this up to our silver. I threw it up to our silver. Yeah, I threw it up to silver. Another guy top snipe on Ola. Yeah, double. I got on the middle though. Black is our silver, Eric.
Go shot the flag.
Nice.
I'm dying at
BR to cat.
The communication, obviously, much more intense, much more happy on the side of Envy. They're feeling themselves right now. They should be able to put in this last cap. They got 3 people playing defense. This series is over 4-0 in favor of Envy. What a stomp.
Absolutely ruffle stomped them. Again, I've got to go back to these power weapon kills, Tom. 11 power weapon kills in the hands of Envyus. Only 1 mere kill over on the side of
A lot of it
Straight
has to
Rippin.
do with, Coach Alumni as well. I mean, Alumni is bringing so much to the table right now. He's definitely a 5th man, and you can tell that he's been coaching these guys for a really long time. He's calling out the numbers of where people are. He's calling out where the spawns of people are. He's telling people where to stay alive. He's keeping track of all the power weapons and power-up controls, and he's going up against his brothers. So, I mean, that's definitely a little bit of a rivalry there in terms of his coach versus coach battle going on. And Envy, they showed that they are ready to win this tournament. Straight Rippin, they have a lot of work to do. Rough series coming out from these guys.
They will claim victory in Coliseum, capture the flag, 3 caps to 0. Good to see Envyus picking up 39 kills, only 25 over on the side of Straight Rippin. We'll bring up the kill feed in a second. It looked like it was Pistola, especially at the end there. You saw him absolutely dumping on people, not only with the sniper rifle, but it's just listening to those call-outs. You spoke about Marcus in the background, Illuminate, how as soon as he makes a call-out, someone just spins around on a pinhead. Does someone one shot, bang, they're dead. Absolutely zero breathing room whatsoever. Congratulations to Team Envyus. They will advance onwards through the winners bracket. And I've got to say, Tom, it's Straight Rippin. They didn't look the Straight Rippin that we've been seeing.
They don't match up against Envy well at all. Unless they do some serious work and some soul searching. Individually, there seems to be a mental block against Envy, personally, is what I think. I think that when it comes to playing Optic or Liquid, they'll fare a lot better, but based off that performance right there, I'm almost going to change my prediction and say that from first, they're going to get fourth.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, they need to play way better than that. They choked individually numerous times. Their communication's slow, and they just need to step it up. So we'll throw it on over to an interview on the guys at the main stage. Take it away, guys.
All right, thanks, Tom. I'm here with Snipe Down from Team Envyus. Congratulations on that win, a quick 4-0. Now, HCS Las Vegas, previously before this, you won the event. Optic Gaming was not there. Coming into this event, Optic Gaming's here. How much is it going to mean to you playing them into the finals?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pulling for Liquid. We've had battles this entire season. We saw our finals at Vegas. We had 2 best-of-7s that were insane. And, Optics, they're a great team. I'm really, I'm sure they're going to show up to this event. But I don't know who's going to win that match between Optic and Liquid. I think it's going to be a really good one. I want to get some revenge on Optic. They've kind of, everyone wants to beat them. Like, it's like you beat them and, like, you could be the best. But I really don't mind who we play next. Just looking to see a good series.
Yeah, I know. I talked to Hook after HCS Las Vegas, and I was like, how does it feel to win your first event? And he was like, it feels good, but I really want to beat Optic. So, obviously, we do have Team Liquid and Optic Gaming coming up shortly. Do you want to give a shout-out to any of your fans back at home?
Yeah, shout out to everyone here. Shout out to them hosting this tournament. All the fans of Envy, Monster. Thank you for being here and supporting us. And ESL 343. Everyone who really is able to put on these shows. It's fantastic, and I'm looking forward to a great 2017 as well.
Awesome. All right. Well, good luck in the rest of the tournament, guys. We'll be right back with a lot more action. Don't go anywhere.